It was late evening when Marcus, a hardworking single father, pulled into the small-town gas station car wash. His old sedan rattled with every bump, carrying the weight of years of sacrifices. He had just finished his third shift of the week, and his eyes were tired, but he thought of his little daughter at home, waiting with a smile that made it all worth it. If stories like this touch your heart, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next one. A simple click helps us keep sharing powerful tales of resilience and justice with you. As he filled his tank and prepared to run the car through the wash, he noticed something unusual. Near the corner of the lot, a woman sat on the curb, her head buried in her hands. Her tears fell freely, illuminated by the dim glow of the flickering streetlight. Her clothes were elegant but torn in places, her shoes covered in dust, and her car sat abandoned nearby with its doors unlocked. Marcus, though worn and weary, felt a pull inside him. Life had taught him hardship, but it had also taught him empathy. Something about the way she cried, quiet but broken, struck a chord. He knew the feeling of being alone in pain. He wanted to walk past, to avoid trouble, but his heart wouldn't let him. He approached carefully, offering a presence rather than questions. For a few moments, he simply stood nearby, showing that she wasn't invisible. The woman looked up, her eyes swollen and red, startled by his quiet kindness. There were no words exchanged, only a shared silence that spoke volumes. She wasn't just a stranger anymore. She was someone carrying a weight too heavy for the night to hide. And in that moment, Marcus didn't realize that this brief act of compassion would set in motion a chain of events that would change his life forever. Marcus didn't press her with questions. Instead, he offered his jacket as the night grew colder, then returned to finish washing his old car. He had his daughter waiting at home, and every minute away felt heavy. Yet something inside told him leaving her alone like this wasn't right. When he returned to check, she was still there, silent, shaking. He left her a bottle of water from his trunk and a spare granola bar he had been saving for himself. It wasn't much, but it was what he had. The woman finally managed a faint nod of thanks before turning back to her car. Marcus drove away, never asking for her name or her story. He wasn't seeking gratitude or recognition. He only knew that no one deserved to feel abandoned in their lowest moment that night. When Marcus tucked his daughter into bed, he told her, like he always did, that kindness is never wasted. His daughter smiled, not fully understanding, but storing the lesson in her young heart. Marcus believed that was the end of it. Just another night, another act of compassion sent into the world. But while Marcus slept, the woman replayed his actions in her mind. A stranger who asked for nothing, a man who gave even when he had little. She lay awake, deciding that his small act of humanity had to be repaid in a way he could never expect. The next morning, Marcus's life would be turned upside down. The following day, Marcus returned from dropping his daughter off at school. The bills sat piled high on his kitchen table, the rent overdue, and his old sedan barely running. Life was a constant balancing act, and survival was the only goal. As he prepared for another long day at work, a knock sounded at the door. When he opened it, there she was, the woman from the car wash. No longer in torn clothes, but dressed sharply, her presence commanding attention. She introduced herself as Elise. Her voice was steady now, but her eyes carried the same depth Marcus had seen the night before. She told him she hadn't forgotten his kindness. He explained that she was not only wealthy but influential, with resources beyond his imagination. While he had seen only a crying stranger, she had been a powerful figure in disguise. Tested by betrayal and heartbreak, Elise revealed that she had spent the night reflecting on Marcus's compassion, and she had made a decision he deserved better than the life he was struggling through. She would make sure of it. Marcus stood speechless, unable to process her words. Yet Elise wasn't finished. She asked him to clear his schedule for the day. Something life-changing awaited him. Marcus reluctantly agreed, still unsure of what Elise meant. She drove him to the city, her sleek car a stark contrast to his crumbling sedan. His heart raced as they pulled up to a towering glass building overlooking the skyline. Elise led him inside, past marble floors and golden elevators, until they stopped at the top floor. When the doors opened, Marcus froze. Before him stretched a sprawling penthouse suite, its walls of glass showcasing the city below. The space was immaculate, furnished with elegance and warmth. Elise turned to him and explained. This was his, a gift, a new beginning. Marcus staggered back, overwhelmed. He couldn't accept something so grand, but Elise insisted. She reminded him of his selfless act, of how rare it was to find someone who gave without expecting anything in return. She revealed that the night before, she had lost faith in humanity, broken by betrayal from those closest to her. But his simple kindness reignited her belief that goodness still existed. She wasn't just giving him a home, she was rewarding the humanity that saved her from despair. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. He thought of his daughter, of the life she would now have. The struggles, the sleepless nights, the endless worries lifted. But what Elise didn't know was that this gift would come with consequences. Not everyone would be happy to see Marcus rise. News of Marcus's sudden change spread quickly. Neighbors who once ignored him now whispered in envy. Old co-workers mocked him behind his back, claiming he hadn't earned such fortune. Even distant relatives resurfaced, demanding a share. But Marcus stayed grounded. He focused on his daughter, ensuring she had the stability and comfort he had once only dreamed of giving her. Elise became a mentor, guiding him in new opportunities, teaching him how to navigate a life of abundance with dignity. Still, shadows of resentment grew around him. Some tried to take advantage, others attempted to sabotage his progress. But Marcus stood firm. The hardships of his past had prepared him for this. He would not let bitterness strip away the blessings he had been given. The penthouse wasn't just a home, it became a symbol, a reminder that kindness has power, that one small act can ripple into something extraordinary. And Marcus carried that lesson in everything he did, shielding his daughter from the poison of envy that surrounded them. Yet even as challenges mounted, the future held more than Marcus could have ever imagined. Years passed, and Marcus's life transformed beyond recognition. His daughter thrived, growing up in safety and love, carrying her father's values in her heart. Marcus himself became more than a resident of the penthouse, he became a pillar in his community. With Elise's guidance, he invested in programs for single parents, funded scholarships for underprivileged children, and opened doors for those who only needed a chance. His story spread far beyond the city, inspiring countless others. People who once mocked him now looked up to him. Those who had doubted him now sought his advice. But Marcus never forgot where it all began: an old gas station car wash, a stranger's tears, and a choice to offer kindness when it would have been easier to walk away. Elise remained by his side, not as a benefactor, but as a friend and equal. Together, they built legacies rooted in compassion and justice. And as Marcus stood one evening on his penthouse balcony, his daughter by his side, he realized the truth. He hadn't just been given wealth, he had been given a chance to prove that humanity still mattered, that kindness, no matter how small, had the power to change the world. The man who once struggled to keep his old sedan running was now a beacon of hope. And all because one night he stopped at a gas station and chose to care.